Kal Kadosh, Boker Or, Bekiim Bahalacha, day 73, page 221. Yeah? 221. Yeah, here you go. Tavid LeMordechai? Oh, okay. Yeah, so he says like this, the merit, Halacha Hey, merit of responding Amen Yishmeh Rabbah is enormous, and therefore you should run. You should let roots. Yeah, run to do it, to gain the opportunity to hear this mitzvah. Look at 388. This is the ruling of the Shulchan Aruch based on the passage of Zohar Kadosh. Since I saw him jump down from the roof in order to hear Kaddish with the congregation, I made up my mind to offer my daughter to him. When the congregation left the synagogue, I gave him my daughter's hand in marriage. I said to myself that if he went to such extreme efforts to hear Kaddish, he must be a big Talmid Chacham. You heard? Run to do Kaddish. Run to listen to Kaddish. The merit of responding Amen Yishmeh Rabbah is greater than that of responding Kedusha. Therefore, if someone hears one congregation reciting Kaddish, and at the same time he hears another congregation reciting Kedusha, he recites Kaddish and he ignores the Kedusha. So Kaddish is more important than Kedusha. A lot of people don't know that, and that's why it's so important. Some people during Kedusha, no, they'll never talk. But during Kaddish, because it's more frequent, so then, no. Aywa. During Kedusha, you'll talk. No. But Kaddish is more important than Kedusha. You understand? If he had not yet heard Kedusha, 389, the Mishnah Berurah ruled that if this person had already heard Kaddish that day and he had not yet heard Kedusha, it's better for him to respond to the Kedusha and ignore the Kaddish. That way he fulfills his daily requirement of both. Meaning, okay, fine, you're right, but what happens if he didn't do Kedusha at all? So now what? If he's going to ignore the Kedusha, that's it, he lost Kedusha. She said, no, there you're right. There, do the Kedusha in order that he fulfilled his obligation of the Kedusha. But if you already did both, or you already have both, right, or whatever, Kaddish is always first. Likewise, the Kaf HaChaim stipulated that this is true only if this person will not have another opportunity to hear Kedusha. But if he expects to be able to hear Kedusha later on, he should respond to the Kaddish. Because again, Kaddish is always more important. Okay, what about two synagogues? If someone realizes that if he turns to one synagogue, he will catch the Kaddish Kabal. If he turns to the second one, he's going to catch Kedusha. He should go to the second one. But in that way, he's going to hear Kedusha and then also Kaddish Kabal. He gets both. Yeah? This is the ruling of Magen Avraham, the Mishnah Berurah, the Kaf HaChaim. Kaf HaChaim ruled that this halacha is even if it means by passing the first synagogue in order to reach the second one, refuting the Shalom Tzibur who says that you should never pass a synagogue. Okay, but here, no, you should do it. Okay?
If somebody missed the Kedusha, does it...
So this is going to be true if the person does not need the Kedusha for daily prayers, either because he's going to join his own congregation, Sufer Kedusha, or because he already recited Kedusha earlier during their petition on the Midah. If he's listening to their petition on the Midah in his own congregation, happens to hear Kaddish, right? It's more important for him to respond to Kedusha and ignore the Kaddish, because obviously he has to be Yitzhak Chovah, the Kedusha. Halakha number 6. If someone is in the middle of saying Amen Yishmeh Rabbah and he hears another saying Kedusha, he does not interrupt for Kedusha. In this case, the best solution is to respond Amen Yishmeh Rabbah, but only until Yitbarach, and then he does Kedusha. In this way, he can fulfill both mitzvot. If someone is in the middle of responding Kedusha and he hears another saying Kaddish, he must not interrupt the Kedusha to respond the Kaddish. Okay? Fine. Next. Halakha number 7, singing along with the Chazan. In some congregations, the people join the Chazan when he sings the words of the Kaddish. This practice is improper, since the Chazan is supposed to recite the Kaddish alone. Everyone else should be listening attentively and respond. Amen Yishmeh Rabbah. Says 390, this is the ruling found in response of the Rosh, and the Achronim citing the name of Rav Chida, see also Yefel Elev, and the Kaf HaChaim Sofer. Halakha number 8, 5 Amen 5 times. Congregation responds Amen 5 times to the Hachetzi Kaddish, following the Arizal's instruction. After the first ones, right, after the initial phrase ending Shemeh Rabbah, Yidkadav Yigdash Shemeh Rabbah, next one after Vikarem Meshicheh, after Uvizvan Kariv Vimru Amen, after the word Shemeh Dekucha Brichu, and after the final words of Daminam Be'alma Vimru Amen. When responding Amen at these 5 junctures, one should have in mind that the concept is that should be God's will. Meaning, Shekeni Ratzon. That's what it means. Okay? 391. Okay? The Rambam explained that this version of the prayer is recited in the Bet Yosef. The Mishnah Berurah expressed amazement at the fact that this is not mentioned in the Shulchan Aruch. Meaning, he doesn't mention the concept of that there you have to answer Amen. He doesn't mention it, so he's astonished. Okay? The Mishnah Berurah on the Shulchan Aruch. Number 392, after Vikarem Meshicheh, neither the Rambam in his version of the prayers nor the Shulchan Aruch mentioned this response of Amen, but this is the custom based on the Arizal HaKadosh, as they are presented in the Shar Kavanot. See the Kaf HaChaim Sofer. Maran wrote in the Magim Yesharim that the angel instructed him to respond Amen 5 times during Kaddish, and one of those times is after the words Vikarem Meshicheh. According to some Rishonim, the words V'yatzmach V'karem Vikarem Meshicheh are not recited at all. Okay? And this is the custom of Ashkenazim. They don't do v'yatzmach b'kenem. They just do, right? Sorry, they just do, no, how do you do it? They miss out that amen. And that's Ashkenazim. Exactly, they skip out v'yatzmach b'kenem. So what happens when you pray with an Ashkenazi minyan then? Because you're missing an amen. So the Or Letzion ruled that if a Sephardic Jew is praying with Ashkenazi congregation, he wishes to recite Kaddish, he may recite the version that he's used to. And he does not have to change to the Ashkenazi version. Therefore, he may add the phrase V'yatzmach Pur Kenei V'Kelem Meshicheh, and fulfilling the directives of the Kabbalah as is found in Shara Kavanot. However, if he knows that the congregation will be incensed by this, he should not do it. Meaning, if he knows that they're going to start throwing tomatoes at him, so don't... it's a little thing. If one Sephardic Jew recites Kaddish along with several Ashkenazi Jews, his V'yatzmach Pur Kenei Meshicheh will be drowned out by the others. Okay? And therefore, it'll be fine. But even if they do hear him, they'll likely not respond to it because they're not used to it. In these cases, it's preferable to simply recite the Ashkenazi version unless the congregation recognizes the Sephardic version and do not mind having it. Nowadays, in communities that have both Sephardim and Ashkenazim, so then each one does their own Kaddish. According to the Rambam, the 5 times of Amen are after the initial phrase of Shemei Rabbah, after Bizman Kariv Yimru Amen, after Yidbarach. Interesting. Okay, after Shemei Dekutcha B'richu, and after the final words Daminam Be'alma. So basically, the Rambam had a different version. So the Rambam counted only 2 responses of Menkat to Kaddish. The response of Nishmat Kol Chai and the Bia Omer resolved this contradiction. Explained in Talmudic Halakha demands only 2. The custom was to do 5. Okay, 393. V'imru Amen. 1 second. So number 393, this is the universal custom regarding the text of Kaddish, which is that the cantor instructs the congregation, V'imru Amen, and everyone answers Amen. Right? But what about Shemei Dekutcha B'richu? So here obviously we know that there's going to be a balagan Ashkenazim and Sfaradim. 394, this is the ruling of the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch and the Arizal HaKadosh. Brought down on Kavachaim. The custom of the Ashkenazic Jews, based on a comment of the Ramah, is not to say Amen, but rather B'richu, meaning that they repeat the same thing. Okay, the common custom of Ashkenazim today is to respond saying B'richu at this point. There was a time when it was common for Ashkenazim to respond Berich hu le'elah, meaning not just B'richu. It was B'richu le'elah, meaning blessed above. The Mishabura complained that this is blasphemy, for it suggests that God is blessed only above, but not on the earth. He suggested that they respond B'richu le'elah min ko birchata. Right, that yes, but other than that, no. The response of the Yigor Moshe ruled that if someone is in the middle of Pesukei Zimra and he hears the cantor reciting Kaddish, he should not interrupt his prayers to say B'richu, since Halakha does not require it to say it at this point. This is likewise the rule of Shlomo ben Auerbach. Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky, Rav Chaim Kanievsky ruled that it's best not to respond B'richu to the Kaddish preceding the Amidah Varvit. Rav Moshe Feinstein ruled that it's permissible. This debate applies to Ashkenazic Jews only, obviously, because we don't have this problem. Next, Amen following Yidbarach. The Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch rule that the congregation should respond Amen after the cantor recites the word Yidbarach. The Ramah commented that the common custom is not to respond at this point. The Od Yosef Chai the Kafachayim commented that since the Arizal was likewise to not instruct us to respond Amen at this point, Sephardic Jews have adopted the practice of not responding after Yidbarach. Have a wonderful day.